after Emanuel Navarrete's impressive fight and performance against Oscar Valdez, now it's like, what's next for Navarrete? I mean, now he's talking about fighting Shakur Stevenson. Now he's saying he's interested in fighting Shakur Stevenson, I should say. He says Navarrete says he's not afraid of a fight with Shakur Stevenson. Says he knows he has to make adjustments / improvements and sees what his team and top rank thinks. So Emanuel Navarrete and Shakur Stevenson actually will be a very, very interesting fight. And speaking of Shakur Stevenson, before we continue talking about that, I guess Bob Arum says the offer that Haney sent, this 25% that people like to still hang on, was capped. All right, let's see what the old man Bob had to say. Bob looks very, very, very zooted right now. Let's see what the old man Bob had to say.
The supposed offer that was sent to him from Devin, the 20 or 25% for a fight, was there any real substance behind that?
No, I don't think Haney was particularly anxious to fight Shakur because it's frankly probably a fight that Shakur is going to win. So Haney is better off fighting at 140, where his body is calling for, because it's more and more difficult for him to make the 135 limit.
So basically, Bob thinks that Haney's offer was capped. It was fugazi. It wasn't real, and it's just for him to pretty much stall Shakur Stevenson. Devin Haney still holding on to those belts at 135. His situation with Regis Prograis is getting kind of interesting. Regis Prograis came out and said he don't know what's going on.
So let me ask you this: what day is Fury in Ghana?
October 28th, I think.
That's not the date I signed for. That's not the date I signed for. I don't know. Honestly, bro, I'm glad we doing this because we gonna put this out here. I don't know what's going on. Like, bro, it's shit going. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if who on the same page. That's not the date I signed for. So I mean, I don't know what I can tell people. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you for sure that's not the date I signed. I signed the contract, and that's not the date.
So yeah, since we all talking about this whole lightweight situation anyway, this is what Regis Prograis had to say more recently after coming out saying that the Haneys didn't really want to fight. See, it's looking to me, man. And when Haney came out and said that, what did he say? He said that why would we fight on the same day as Fury? But the first thing that came to my mind was Fury fights in the UK, bro. Even if y'all did fight on the same day, who cares? Who's checking for Fury like that? Let's be honest. Nobody's. I mean, the Francis Ngannou fight will be a pretty big fight because it brings the MMA fans, it brings a lot of the African fans and things of that nature, right? But it's on a whole different time zone anyway. So I think that was, I don't know, bro. I really just question if David Haney really wants to fight any of these dudes at this point, honestly, you guys. But transitioning back to Shakur Stevenson, it's just not looking like that that he's going to be getting any of these named guys that he's looking for anytime soon. And, you know, everybody's talking to him right now about Emanuel Navarrete. And, you know, he says, we'll fight because a lot of these guys is right here is Emanuel Navarrete's fault, right? He messes these dudes up, right? He messes these dudes up. And Shakur says, anybody that knows boxing styles makes fights. I also dominated almost every round against all of them. He lost rounds to most of them. But send him my way if y'all think otherwise. Y'all know I don't care who across the ring for me. And Shakur Stevenson been coming out saying that he's ready to fight anybody at this point. Jojo Diaz stepped up and said that he'll step in, but Shakur said step up is get stepped on. Me personally, I didn't necessarily like that response from Shakur. He got to learn how to really play the whole media game a little bit better. You know what I'm saying? Because I think that since he's a guy that's kind of avoided right now, if you got some guys that's humbly accepting your challenge, just be cool about it, bro. That turned off a lot of fans, bro. When he said step up and get stepped on, like, bro, like everybody else running the other way. He's one of the dudes that's still standing there willing to fight you. Show some respect a little bit, G. But Shakur, he go learn eventually one day, right? Because I've seen a lot of fans kind of upset about that, and that kind of made me feel a little certain type of way too. Like, come on, man, we know what JoJo's doing. JoJo trying to get his shit together. You know, JoJo's still out here looking for all the smoke. You know, he respectfully said, "I'll step up." You said, "And get stepped on." Like, come on, bro. Like, come on, dog. You didn't have to. You didn't have to do all that, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I can see why some people may be turned off by Shakur. You know, a lot of people still, they looking for anything, and he's giving it to them. That's my thing. They looking for anything to knock Shakur, and he's really just giving it to them. And then it says here, some people are weirdos, hating on Shakur because he's with Bud for Bud's victory parade. Shakur was sparring partner for Bud. Him and Bud are close friends, so why wouldn't he support him? He said, because they don't know the history behind me and Big Bruh. Surround yourself with greatness, you become greatness. Yeah, that's right. And I think a lot of the hate do stem from the fact that Shakur Stevenson is associated with Terrence Crawford. Some people that hate Terrence Crawford, they can't really come out and hate on Bud like that no more. So they go really put all that energy on Shakur Stevenson and the certain moves and the decisions and the certain things that he say, right? So Shakur out here making some crazy decisions as far as with the 25%, they still hanging on that. Bobby Arum came out and said that shit wasn't even real. And it's starting to look like a lot of the shit that Devin Haney been talking about lately ain't been looking real, bro. It just ain't been looking real for real. But we go see Shakur Stevenson, Emanuel Navarrete. I think that's a fight that could happen. But Shakur says, man, everybody's been talking about him and Navarrete. I mean, I guess people want to see that fight. I think it's a really, really good fight stylistically. We have a defensive wizard and an offensive machine. That should be an excellent fight. I mean, Navarrete is very awkward and just relentless. It makes for an exciting fight, honestly. It really do. And he says, this guy says, Ash Christine, you interested to fight with Navarrete? We'd love to see that matchup since Haney and Loma don't want to smoke. And speaking of Lomachenko, rumored, right? Scored kind of calling him a duck and everything right now. But Lomachenko, I think the bombs is close to his house in the Ukraine right now. So Lomachenko, or even, he probably can't even focus on boxing at all right now. Honestly, he probably can't even focus on boxing for real, right? If this is all true, I don't see Lomachenko as a ducker, but he does have a situation that's going on in his country. He's probably somewhat distracted. Probably was able to get the fight in with Devin Haney real quick, but when it's bombs close to your home, it gets your mind going. And he probably can't even focus on boxing for real right now. So I'm gonna hold my breath on calling Loma a duck and all that, because Loma never struck me as a ducking fighter. Hell, he don't even belong at 135 anyway. But Shakur Stevenson says this in regards to Navarrete. He says, yeah, I wouldn't mind it at all, to be honest. Just got to get this belt at 135 first, and we can square up at a catch weight if he win it. Shakur Stevenson did this all wrong. He did this all wrong because now they gonna say, oh, well, he don't really want to fight Navarrete. He got to get a belt first. Blah, blah, blah. Now, Bob Arum did say that Devin Haney should be fighting for a world title sometime in November, the WBC title or something like that in November. So we go see. Devin Haney still got to handle his situation with Regis Prograis. Will that get settled? Who knows, right? Regis Prograis talking about Adrian Broner might be a bigger fight for him, because he's not really trying to play these games with the Haneys. It's just when the fighter get put in position, you see how they really move, man. Devin Haney's a young fighter, and he's in a really, really big position to the point where he has to fight a lot of these guys. It's not like he's an older fighter who, got a couple of fights left. Nah, Devin Haney got a whole lot of fights left. He got a whole bunch of weight classes left. So, yeah. Anyways, look, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, it seemed like they're getting further and further apart away from each other as far as that fight happening anytime soon. I like the Navarrete fight, me personally. I think if Shakur Stevenson can't get this WBC title shot in November or whatever the case, if he can't get anybody in the ring that he's been looking for, then go ahead and fight Emanuel Navarrete. If Navarrete can come to 135, that would be great. I mean, he's like 5'9", 5'10", or something like that anyway. He should be able to fight at 135. But if they can do it at a catch weight, I say they should do that too. Just make it. Shakur Stevenson really just needs a fight at this point, because a lot of boxing fans is really throwing stones at him, and they really just looking for anything to hate on Shakur Stevenson about. He's out there with Bud celebrating with his big bro. They say, oh man, he's the biggest rider in boxing and all this other crazy stuff. So yeah, man, Shakur Stevenson, he's going through this thing to where now he's battling with the media, the social media, the fans on the internet and stuff like that. He's going to have to eventually learn how to handle it a little better, in my opinion. But I think he eventually will with experience. But yeah, man, you never read Shakur Stevenson, that man you never read. Tell me what you guys think about that fight. Like, subscribe, holla at your boy. Peace out.